My name is Joe Cantu, and I'm a director cameraman. I had actually started as a still photographer. I was shooting stills when I was 8. But once I got into motion as opposed to still photography, I started seeing as many films as I could. And really, it wasn't until I really started working after university, I got a job shooting at a TV station, shooting 16mm film for news. I was staffed with NBC News for a few years and started freelancing. So I did a lot of what might be called hard news for television shows, and I started doing corporate work after that. Oh, I mean, I've worked with a lot of actors. You know, most of the actors, you know, John Travolta, let's see, Meg Ryan, Mickey Rourke, some directors, Darren Aronofsky, Jerry Bruckheimer. I've also interviewed Jimmy Carter, George Bush, Bill Clinton. Corporate work, I mean, you always know exactly what you're doing. As I said, I used to work in news, so with news you don't have a normal schedule. I mean, I sometimes would start very early in the morning, go till very late at night. Corporate work, you're generally starting, you may start early, but you're usually done by 5 or 6 o'clock. I've shot maybe 8 or 10 short films. Several have been in the Dallas Video Festival. I usually alternate. I'll do like a 20-minute, 25-minute short, then I'll do like a 5 to 7, and then I'll do another 20 and a 3-minute. So what I'm doing now, because of my work schedule, is I try and shoot something that I could really shoot in a day, at most 2 days. I would say I have a style in my own personal pieces. I'm always doing contemporary pieces. I don't try to do period pieces or very complicated pieces because, again, I'm funding them myself. I tend to like softer lighting, more natural lighting. You know, I don't like things to look lit, so I tend to go with that style. I also lean towards more handheld type stuff because it just has a little bit more energy. The other thing is working with actors. Again, I let them and again, I hate to use the word ad lib because that means that they're just coming up with their own lines. I have an outline that they know where they're going. I don't care how they get there. I'll tell you an interesting story. I had a guy working for me, and at times I've had 2 offices, and I had a Dallas office. So the guy that worked for me in the Dallas office said, this young guy keeps coming by, he wants to work. He really wants to learn this business. So I said, well, get his information and I'll try and meet with him. And for various reasons, we just could never hook up. One day after a shoot, I show up at my office to exchange equipment, and the guy just happens to walk in. I meet him, he seems like a very nice guy. He tells me, I really want to learn this business, I'll work for free. That to me tells me the guy is willing to make a commitment. I wasn't planning on taking advantage of him like, you know, well, I got this free worker. But I brought him on a couple of shoots. He was very helpful. He was not afraid to get his hands dirty, get in there, ask questions. So I eventually hired him as an equipment manager. And he worked for me for 2.5 years, and in the process, he was learning to do audio. He eventually left working for me and started freelancing audio. Now he's so busy, I can barely get him. I work with him a lot because he's very, very good, but he's in high demand. And the guy made his break. He showed up day after day after day until he got in and offered to work for free. Then when he actually was on set, he worked hard. And, you know, like I said, wasn't afraid to get his hands dirty, help other people in their jobs. And once I saw that, I got an idea of his character. And I thought, this guy will be good at this job. And as I said, once he started working for me, he did very, very good work. And once he went freelance, he did excellent work. And as I said, it's hard for me to get him. I always say, shoot a piece, even if you shoot it in one day or a weekend. The process of thinking it, shooting it, and editing it is invaluable. That's really what helps you move forward. So what I always tell students is just keep shooting.